Welcome to the H&R Show. This is the podcast where we bring you the latest and greatest to keep you in the know. My name's Han. This is Rudy. This is Nick. And today is Monday Madness. What we're going to talk about today is the Tates. They're free. Free Top G. What do you guys think about it?
Rudy, I'm going to let you go first before I interject.
Well, first of all, something very coincidental happened. Apparently, they were out on the same day that The Matrix, the movie The Matrix, was released. And that's pretty weird. Like, what are the chances of Andrew Tate, who always talks about The Matrix, The Matrix, The Matrix, The Matrix, whatever.
Your French is amazing.
Hey, at least he's trying.
Yeah.
The Matrix, just in case.
The Matrix.
The Matrix would be most.
The Matrix.
La Matrice.
La
La
Matrix.
Matrice.
Just to make sure everybody understands.
The mattress is amazing.
So I got the news and I was like, I saw it somewhere on Instagram. Somebody posted a story that this is a conspiracy. There's a whole cloning reptilian shit going on. This guy is like released on the same day the Matrix was released. You know, this is a controlled opposition. Blah blah blah. I'm like, something does not like. I mean, yeah, they got released finally, but why on that specific date? Like, what are the chances?
I mean,
Do you guys think there's anything like?
what better day to be released? If I was able to control what day I was going to be released and I knew I was innocent, I would do it exactly that day though. Like you think the Tates are not that smart since they're chess players? They plan like 10 moves ahead.
So do you think he was able to plan what day he was going to get released?
Well,
And
I
he
mean-
planned it on the 31st of March to be on the same day that The Matrix was released?
I mean, if you know you're innocent and you can control like what day you want to be released, why not? If they said like, you know what, the first week they came in, they're like, no, you guys are good. We can release you today. It's like, no, I want to stay in here for 3 months.
Some theories would say that he's probably an agent of the Matrix.
Sounds like it.
And honestly, to answer your question, it's true that what a coincidence that he got released the same day that the Matrix got released. I feel like because he spoke so much about the Matrix in all of his podcasts, how much you bet all of his fans were like, you know what? Let me just go watch the Matrix. How much you bet that this movie got more views? It's like TikTok. Andrew Tate was like TikTok for the guys. They're like, okay, the Matrix, let's go watch the Matrix and understand like what the hell is he talking about. But when you think about it, the Matrix movie, it was ahead of its time. So before Andrew Tate actually spoke about it, a lot of people were thinking about it, but it was not that much present in the media because, you know, we're not focused on what's happening in the world, in our system, in the government. I feel like everyone is more aware since COVID happened. Like this is where everyone was like, okay, we got like this wake up call, like, okay, what's happening to the world? And Andrew Tate's the only one. I don't like to say it, but he's literally the only one trying to talk sense. But people are gaslighting it. Oh, toxic masculinity.
But you think he makes sense though? There's things that I agree with. There's things that I don't agree with. You know?
Don't forget that sometimes in his podcast, he's putting a show also. He has this character that he's remaining, like he's, oh my God, that he's maintaining. So outside of the podcast, next thing you know, he might be the nicest guy ever. So yeah, sometimes he's going to say stuff and be more satirical, like overboard, just to get a reaction. It's like Trump. You know, when Trump talks, do you think he means everything he says? No, he's trolling. But people are so easily offended and gullible, they'll react. So this is what he wants. He gets more reaction.
Well, to me, Trump seems like not a too like trustworthy kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
But for Tate, the Tates especially, I don't know. My spider sense doesn't go off on them because like maybe they might be a little bit of players and they don't like not the greatest when they treat the ladies, but then again, not in the sense of like sex trafficking or whatever allegedly they're accused of. I mean,
They have some history.
yeah, but just being
Yeah.
popular with the ladies, you have to be a bit of a dick. You know, that's how the girls like it. you know?
But what makes Trump any different? I'm not defending him, but I'm just trying to understand.
Because Trump is like old school. He's like a baby boomer. You know. You know what I mean?
Can we put a pause on Trump and Tate and just I just want to ask you, like, how do you define being a dick instead of woman?
No.
Because I understand there is a balance between like being
Yeah.
too nice and too cocky. There's that balance that makes you, ahead of your, let's say, competitors when you're in the pool of dating and all of that.
The Tates and I were like in the same generation kind of thing. So like back in the days, like the pickup artist thing
Right.
was like to be cocky funny, but cocky funny, you're a bit of a dick. You can't be a nice guy. That's what he is. That's how they play, but they play it to like the next level. They're like way better than they're like Andrew Tate looks like Neil Strauss, but like with muscles.
Taller and with muscles.
Yeah, like he looks like Neil Strauss, but better version.
Yeah, Neil
Like,
Strauss is like 5'6", I think.
Yeah,
and
but
he's
they
like-
look the same too. Bald guy
Yeah,
with a
yeah,
beard.
yeah.
But just like Andrew Tate is what Neil Strauss wish he was, kind of thing, So that's the funny part. So when I see Andrew Tate, I'm like, that's what happens when like Pikachu evolves.
Well, Neil Strauss doesn't look monstrous. When you
Well,
think
but
about
he-
it.
Exactly.
I was just looking at his
Yeah.
picture right now. He
Do you know
doesn't
Neil
look-
Strauss, by the way?
No, that's why I was. That's why I was
Yeah,
googling him.
look
Okay,
him
so
up,
imagine-
but he looks like him, but a smaller version.
I understood. Like,
Imagine this guy is 5'6", I think, or 5'7", but he's like short.
he's 168.
Yeah, so that's like 5'6", I believe. And this guy wrote a book, like probably the greatest book of all time on how to pick up women. And it's like a story. It's not even like a book of how to pick up women. It's a story of his, his life, let's say, how it evolved from being like an extreme simp to learning from the best of the best back when the pickup artist community was booming. So that's like the early 2000s, I believe, late 1990s.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I'm seeing it right now. And another book that he made, funny enough, like it kind of relates also. It's like How to Make Love Like a Porn Star.
Yeah, I don't know about that book. I just read the game. It's like one of probably the greatest book to read in terms of how do you say it? What's the word?
Biography.
Yeah, biography.
Autobiography.
Autobiography
Yeah.
that relates to like dating and all that stuff.
Never mind, I did a mistake. That was done by Jenna Jameson. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think he wrote it, like, cause he writes other people's autobiographies too.
So that would probably
Yeah, it
make
could be
sense.
him.
He's a really good writer.
Yeah,
If
he's
you read his
excellent.
book, it's like better than watching a movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I've never enjoyed like reading a book more than his book. Although I've read over 100 books and my library contains around 150 books.
Flex more.
In fact, but his book literally made me like want to finish it as fast as possible. It's like 400 pages, I believe, 400 or 500 pages.
And it looks like the Bible.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, he used the same like leather
Yeah.
wrapping and the same type of paper as the Bible.
Yeah.
So when I was reading it, when I was a kid, I was reading it in the subway. People were like, "Oh, you're religious." I swear to God, people thought like old ladies. "Oh, you're such a good boy." I'm like, "Sure."
No, he's right. It looks like a very like
It looks like-
ancient,
yeah.
exclusive book.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like
Looks-
like a lost Bible or whatever.
Yeah,
it's probably like a lost Bible for like the guys who cannot
Yep.
pick up.
pick up. Well, I mean, it didn't work because today 60% of males between 18 and 30 are single.
Yeah.
But they
60.
didn't read the game.
Well, I mean, the game has been out, so even if they read it or not, there's a problem today
Right.
with young people.
Yeah, I agree.
And well, I mean, I kind of suffer from it too, but of my own making,
Mm-hmm.
So
And what do you think is like the main cause of this problem, or the maybe like the top 3 causes of this problem?
well, the main is the whole inflation.
The what?
Whole inflation.
Like-
Have ever heard of the whole inflation?
Whole inflation.
Yeah, you ever heard of that?
No, that sounds like the what?
I'd like
Well,
to hear
as
your
a
definition.
finance guy, I'll tell you what inflation is the whole way. Not the Han way, but the whole way. The whole way is because like there's so many hoes right now, right?
Sure.
There's so many hoes right now, and hoes are just giving it out for free, but not to anybody, just a certain select of men. So there's a minority of men who's getting all the hoes, which is like 80% of the women are like acting like hoes. So that makes it like unfair in the dating arena, right?
Right.
So most women are sleeping with the same men. So most men are like are just out there trying their best and they ain't getting anything at all.
Is it because some men are better than other men, or some men are really bad at what they do?
Well, I mean, there's a multitude of reasons. One of the reasons is, well, a lot of men don't have good male role models today.
Right.
So they really don't know how
Father
to...
figure.
Yeah, father figure, uncle, anything. Because, like, they just... They listen to women and say, oh, what kind of guys? You're like, oh, I want a guy that is sensitive, that listens to me, that shows me his emotion.
They want a gay guy.
Basically. But and then the guys today have become more feminine and they pretend to be well, you know how guys are. They'll do whatever it takes to get laid, right? So they do that and it doesn't work. Lo and behold.
But that's the thing that doesn't make sense, because they're asking, like, I want this, I want that, I want that, I want this, right? But once they do have it, they don't want it anymore for one reason. They cannot fix this type of guy because he's unfixable. He's all right. They want the damaged one, or the one that has the full options or has that higher status. Like, at this point, you can't hide it anymore. It's like when they say, "Oh, he needs to be making this type of money. He has to take care of me. I'm gonna make my own money. I'm not gonna share it." I'm like, okay, but when he asks you for the basic things, you get offended and it's sexist. So why is it okay for you to say it and it's not okay for him to say it? All he's asking you is make him food. If he wants kids, give him kids.
But the problem is most guys today are so weak they can't do any of that.
But why do you think this is? Because they don't like men.
Well,
they call it toxic masculinity.
well,
It has been gaslighted, so it's on them.
Well, hence Andrew Tate. He is the example. He's like the stereotypical guy that girls like, but they still trash him. Like, you go in the street right now, ask some random girl, do you like Andrew Tate? They could be like, no, I wish he would die. Really? Okay. But you put them in a room together, what happens?
Or you put them in a room with multiple other men and you see
which one they
is the
pick.
girl's gonna choose. Yeah.
They pick a guy who's like Andrew Tate. 9 out of 10 times, that's
Right.
what women will pick. He's tall, he's muscular, he's a kickboxing world champion,
He's a great marketer.
he's a great marketer, he has status.
Yeah.
He has a Bugatti. And
He
what
has
color?
more than a Bugatti.
But what color is it? That's the biggest question, you know? I can't even tell what color it is. It's some weird color that he invented.
I don't know. Like,
Seriously.
Well, look at it. If you seen it, like it's like I don't know what color. It's not brown. It's not bronze. It's like what color is it?
Before we move on, I just have one thing to say. I saw this study, and I think I've shared it with you guys a couple of days ago or today. I can't really remember, but it was related to the birth control pill. Apparently, there's a study that was made, but this study that is not. It's not that conclusive. They still have to remake other studies to really get to an actual conclusion, but it's going to be hard. So apparently, by the way, do you know the statistic, like how many women today take the pill?
No, tell us.
Right
Percentage?
now.
Can you check that out?
Yeah.
So let's say it's 50%. Let's say. Apparently, when the woman is on birth control, it mimics as if she's pregnant.
Right.
And her choices of man would become less and less masculine, and
Right.
she wouldn't care if the man is actually possesses like a great physique,
Perfect.
protection, resources, and all of that. So, but as soon as she actually like get in a relationship, and let's say they get married, and she wants to stop the pill, she wants to become actually pregnant, and then she gets pregnant, and then after a couple of years passes by, she's also off the pill. Then she realizes, oh shit, why am I with this dude? He's weak. Then she what? You got the
the cat's gonna jump in the behind of my back. I don't know. I have a feeling it's gonna boom.
shit. I thought you got the numbers, and it's like
But I do.
100%.
But I do have them.
Yeah, so she thinks that she's like, why did I choose this man? He's weak. He's not what I really want. He's not what I like.
Yeah.
He doesn't possess those masculine qualities. And now the divorce
Wait,
rate is at like 70%.
Just to cut you off.
Yeah.
He doesn't possess the 666. 6 feet, six
Back.
pack,
Six
six
million.
figure,
Who?
six figure.
Who doesn't?
Well, no, because he's like the masculine man. Basically, the masculine man
yeah.
is the 666, the devil.
yeah.
6 feet, 6 figure, 6 pack. Some people say 6
Oh,
inch.
do you think that's why OnlyFans girls want that 1 or 2% of men? 'Cause
Well,
it goes accordingly with the devil.
Well, yeah, they
The
do.
666.
Yeah, they do. That's exactly what
That's
they
a new
aim for.
perspective on the 666.
Yeah, I didn't think
No,
about it like that.
They
So
aim
that
for
is
the
very
devil. That's
interesting.
what they want. They want the devil because they're demons.
But is it the devil, or is it like doesn't that define somebody who is strong physically, good genetics, and
no.
has resources?
For real, like what
If you break it down,
if you break it down, like a guy who's 6 foot tall, I'm sorry to say, like yeah, I know you're 6 foot tall, my friend, but it doesn't
Short
mean
kings.
that doesn't mean you can protect. You know, because I've like I do martial arts, and it doesn't matter if you're 6 foot tall or you're 5'6" like Bruce Lee. I'm scared of Bruce Lee, not the guy that's 6 foot tall. You know,
For sure, but the price is women would still go for the tallest
Yeah,
guy, so they
but
wouldn't care for the
But
average.
no, but the thing is, they don't know what they want. Because, like, I guess, again, women always say things, oh, I want a sensitive guy, all this dumb stuff they always say all the time. But when it comes to reality, that's not what they really want.
No,
they
I
want
know, exactly.
actual protection. A guy
Yeah.
who's
Yeah, I agree.
tough, you know, a guy who's like if a guy has a scar, they might want that guy because he looks like he survived some stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as opposed to a guy who's like 6 foot and a little bit of airhead, pretty boy.
Yeah.
It's not really what they're looking for. So yeah, you have to be tough. So the 6 foot is like they think they want some. No, they want a tough guy. And then the other part is when they say like, oh, he has to have a six pack or a six figure. Well, no, six figure. No, they don't want a guy who's six figure. They want a guy who's able to provide. So the guy has to be smart enough to know how to make money, but know how to keep it too, and how to like manage the money. So that's what they want. But if a guy makes $1 million and spends $1 million and then she doesn't get any money, she's not gonna be happy either. She's gonna dump him for another guy that makes 500,000 a year or whatever. But as long as he knows how to manage, that's what they want. And then the six pack or whatever.
That's an unnecessary detail. Like
No, well, it is because they don't want a fat guy. They don't want a guy that's like that looks
because
like
it's unattractive.
Well, also,
sorry.
also,
Like,
also,
let's keep it real.
not just unattractive, because when they get a baby or whatever, they don't want the guy to just drop and die, because he wants to be healthy enough to live an next year 18 years so that they can raise the kid.
Yeah, but you can't say this. Fat acceptance. Okay. Rudy, to answer your question.
but I think it's before you get into statistics. I believe it's like you said, the representation of somebody having a six pack or not having a belly, having flat stomach, basically,
Yeah.
is a representation that he is
Healthy,
healthy.
yeah.
He has good
Yeah.
genetics, and the kid will be healthy.
He's
and
disciplined.
He will have good genetics.
Yeah.
And obviously there's like the discipline part. So there's a lot of scientists and experts nowadays that claim obesity is something that's genetic, which I believe is absolutely false.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
And
horseshit.
I think habits are genetically, as if they go down from generation and generation of families, not literally in the genes of the kid, but in how they're raised.
Yeah.
So if you're a fat father and your kid watches you and sees how you eat every single day without moving,
You follow example of your parents at the end of the day.
exactly. The kid doesn't follow what you tell him to do. He will follow your example. Okay, so you can get to your statistics.
Yeah,
So-
well, let's hear it.
Your question was about women on birth control.
Yeah.
So one of the statistics I found is according to the Center of Disease Control of Prevention, so the CDC,
Yeah.
from 2015 to 2017, 64.9% of women age of 15 to 49 in the US were using a form of contraception.
That makes sense. That's why there's so many female hate on Andrew Tate.
But that's until 2017.
Yeah.
Imagine like now, 2023.
Well, that explains it. That's why there's so much female hate. Like on the street, you ask a random girl, you have 64% chance that they'll hate Andrew Tate.
Do you think we're like at the 80%?
No, I don't think so.
Well, at this point,
Because
with,
married women don't take it.
Right.
So
But the divorce rate is like so fucking high.
Well, yeah.
but there's something that it's crazy that you're mentioning that, because yesterday I was just thinking about that. We always talk about the percentage of divorce
Right.
in our society, which I agree. But then people are like, yeah, but what about the others that are still together? I'm like, let's say the rest of the 40% that you're talking about, there's infidelity, there's probably domestic violence. You don't know what's happening
Yeah.
closed doors. And some parents are just staying together to tolerate for the kids. That doesn't mean they want to be together.
Right.
So the statistics are not fully right because some of them are still hidden
Yeah.
or not mentioned. It's like, when they talked about homosexuals, they're like, oh, but homosexuals, they're not everywhere. But since it become accepting, a lot of them are coming out
popping
because
up,
they
yeah.
feel more comfortable. You don't know. Like a friend of mine, he lives in the Middle East. He said, dude, if you knew the amount of homosexuals that there is in those countries that are hiding, and some of them are snitches and they blackmail you. It's crazy. So that just shows that the statistics, yes, they might be accurate to a certain degree, but it's not fully accurate.
Yeah.
But I agree that the divorce rate is high,
Yeah.
but the 40% of marriages that are working are not necessarily really working 100%.
So I have a question, and
Yeah.
this might be a very hard question to answer. In a society, is it better, or what's more ideal? Is it better to have divorced couples, but at least there's no like domestic violence, there's no like being there just for the kids, like they're not like sacrificing themselves for the family and for the kids, or to have more families, more marriages working, but there's some sort of negative things happening, like for example to the extent of domestic violence,
Okay.
or not actually loving each other and liking each other, but being there just for the kids.
So my answer to you would be, let's say a marriage is no longer functioning. So there's not really bad faith between these two. So let's say they're no longer in the same page,
Right.
but they're able to co-parent the kid in order for them to grow. So like the kid will be able to see their mother and father at the same time. So the custody would not be unfair if the parents both agree to the custody of the child that let's do it 50-50, so the kid would not feel that there's a lack of attention somewhere. But most of the cases it's not always like that, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Because the system favors women before the men.
Is that true? Is that true? I don't know much about the
some
system,
degree,
to be honest.
yeah, the judge will more favor into the mother than the father. In order to like take care, custodian and whatnot, they'll more favor the woman. So when they say women don't have it as much, they don't have the privilege. There's a lot of privilege that they forgot to mention because they took it. Sorry, like let's keep it real. They took it for granted. Like the statistics show it. Like there's no lie. Like,
Wait.
if you want me to lie, at
People
this
lie,
point-
No,
but
but
numbers
guys,
don't.
but what do you mean by favors women? Like the law favors women or the
judge.
society?
The judge. So
The judge?
What do you mean the judge?
The
No, you
system-
mean the law.
the law and the judge. So let's say who's gonna stay with the kid in the long term? Is it the father or the mother?
Honestly, I believe the kid needs his mother let's say if he's a boy, he needs his mother until he's like 12 years old. And then he needs more his father.
I think
know,
I think the daughter needs the father even more because I met a girl like allegedly. Okay, allegedly, she was let's say she was 12 years old. Her father committed suicide. Okay, and she told me the story. I was like, holy shit! Like like she's know what she said. She's like, yo, me and my father were best friends. He used to bring me to watch like Lord of the Rings and everything, and and he just left me. He abandoned me. But you know what I mean? And listen, guys, she become like semi crazy. Like she looks for like male attention, but like guys are like way older. Like
It's very anecdotal what you're saying, which I'm not dismissing it, but in the eyes of the system, if parents divorce or whatnot, who gets the custody of the child is most of the time the mother. It's not the father. The father would get it if he's financially stable. His parents are very well stable. If everything in his life is correct. If the mom is a deadbeat mom. Like we can talk about it as much as you want, but that's how the system functions. And most of the time when the men do get it, like I read an article, one man got the custody of their child. The mother was so bitter about it, they made sure to kill him.
What? That's crazy.
but that's crazy. But
That's like
but
psychopath.
That was horrible. Now the kid has no father and no mother. So what does that mean? The kid's gonna be in the system, and now that kid is gonna be destroyed way more.
Oh,
So-
he's no longer the product of
And
his.
don't forget, many like in the States, many women are single parent.
that's not a good thing.
But there comes my point. The system will favor the mother before the father too. Because the government will be like, leave the man, we'll take care of everything in your expenses.
Okay, but like let's just say in an ideal world, what should be the system? To not favor divorce so that they favor people to stay together. What would it look like to you?
Honestly, at this point, don't get married. Because if you're vowing that for better or for worse, but you can barely handle a fraction of the worse, what's the whole point of the matrimony? What's the whole point of the marriage?
Well, I'm gonna push back a little bit on that, if you don't mind,
That's fine.
because I think the institution of marriage and family is a pillar of society. If we don't have that, we don't have nothing, because that's what built the world that we have today. And if we don't have that, like
We wouldn't been
we
here.
wouldn't be here. Everything we
Exactly.
see today was built by family. Like the greatest generation, they say was like the people who fought in World War II.
Yeah.
And back then, what was the statistics? But it was most people were in nuclear families. Most people were married, unless you're gay or whatever, like lesbian. And then those people were able to, not be married, whatever, or people who become priests or whatever. But in most cases, people say married, and they created one of the most, what's it called? Not advanced, but like
Yes,
like
advanced.
abundant society.
But even advanced to the known history. To
Yeah,
the
they
known
went
world.
to the moon. Like they did a bunch of like really
Allegedly.
alleged. Okay, Weird Wednesday. We could talk about that after. Okay,
I'm
but
sorry, I just had to say it was like word vomit.
I said it in my mind.
Yeah. We could talk about that after. But you know what I mean? They invented like a lot of stuff.
Cheers
you know,
to that.
Cheers.
like they like
Yeah, civilization, skyscrapers,
a
so
lot. They
new
just
businesses.
they did one of the best.
Great economy.
Greatest economy.
Yeah.
People live the most like safest. They have the most
Yep.
what's
Least
called
crimes.
least crime, population boom. People are the happy. Women even report being happier than they are
obviously.
now.
Okay, so I have a question for you. If this was ideal and the best model,
It was not ideal, but I'm just saying they did it. I think because it was a solid foundation of family.
fine. But why is it not working anymore?
The problem is feminism.
I can say something. Well, this started after a very hard time, a very hard period.
Oh no, actually, wait.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut
Yeah,
you.
go ahead.
Feminism and the contraception pill. Once that went into society, things went to dog shit.
Well, okay, that's a very slippery slope argument for one reason, because most guys will be like, oh, we want the old school. My bad.
No, I don't like the old school. I'm just saying.
Listen. Most guys want to have sex, and most
Except
of
for
them-
me.
You do you, my guy. But like most guys want to have sex with no repercussion and no consequences. So the pill, yeah, women say, "Oh my god, we always have to use it." Most guys are okay with the pill also. They're like, "Cuz I don't want to be a dad. And if I do become one, honey, you're going to be alone and I'm going to be the deadbeat dad." Like look how society became. I blame social media and rap.
I have something just before because you said
30 seconds.
Yeah, so you said feminism and the pill. So I believe you have a very strong point. But we have to remember, we went through a very hard period, very tough times back in World War I and World War II. And this society, this whole civilization was built after those wars. So we went through a very hard time, create very tough man that created easy times. And easy time, we know what that creates,
Yeah.
soft man. And I think we're in that period right now.
And with that, we end Monday Madness.